How are y'all doing today? Hey, good morning, Facebook. How are y'all doing today? Yeah, I hope you're doing super good. I've just been on the phone speaking with another veteran who has the rage. So far, 100% of the people I've spoke to that have Mefloquine have confided in me that they experienced this rage. They've said that since I started being more vocal about this, that they are on the same page with all the other symptomology. So this means that for the last little while, approximately 55,000 Canadians who potentially took Mefloquine have all been suffering the same way. They've all cruelly been misdiagnosed with PTSD and trying to manage their lives with the belief that they have a psychological injury, when the reality is they have brain damage caused by Mefloquine poisoning. There is absolutely no way that I could speak to 12 different veterans who served in 12 different rotos, in 12 different platoons, sections, companies, units, some of them WOGs who never lift the wire. There's absolutely no way that all of us, if we have PTSD, have the exact same symptoms. And what lies at it at the core, I wonder what my restless leg syndrome, I wonder what that ties into it. You know, at the core here, it's pretty clear when you start to look at everybody involved and then you understand what Mefloquine and know what Mefloquine does to your brain. It's very clear here that we are all suffering from a neurological injury. We have brain damage from a drug. It's not something that we did. It's not a psychological thing when our brain is physically damaged from Mefloquine. And that's, now that is become aware, we as a veteran community have to move forward and really start pushing this and start sharing our experience with other veterans. I mean, look, I'm slurring my speech right now. I've noticed that my whole life. After Afghanistan, I'm like, fuck, I kind of sound drunk sometimes. You know, I'm not impaired enough. I've smoked CBD, but I'm not impaired enough to have slurred speech. You know. So, now that Afghanistan is over, now that the first guys that took Mefloquine there are 17 years after the fact, the bulk of guys took it between 2002 and 2009. So you're looking 17 to 9 years from taking it, and we're all still experiencing these long-term effects. Like, this is bullshit, man. We need to fucking get some change here. Get involved with this lawsuit. I cannot stress that enough. Get involved with this lawsuit. If you're Canadian, get involved with this lawsuit. It's going to change the mental health world, and it's going to give our generation of veterans the validity that they need in order to get better. I'm just going to look at the comments and then go from there, but that's my message here. Get a hold of that law firm. All right, Dylan. Yeah, I know. All NATO took this in Afghanistan. So here's the fight, my friend. Especially for you guys down south. The Australians figured this out, and they just did their lawsuit. The Irish have figured this out, and they're doing their lawsuit, and they're settling out of court with high settlements. What's happening in Canada is we've put together a mass tort. It's roughly around 900 people to 1,000. That's a really small percentage of people that took Mefloquine though in Canada. So we need to, those are rookie numbers, bud. We got to bump those numbers up. and we got to get everybody on board that took this drug to come forward. What that's going to do in Canada is, once we can get our government to recognize that Quinism has damaged us and get a settlement from it, Veterans Affairs will have to look at this as a condition, and then we're going to be able to get the support and the proper medical care and research put into it, which is really what's key for you American kids. Unfortunately, the fight in Canada, in a fight in the United States, is going to be a lot harder, just based on the fact that Canada is a socialist country. So the citizens have a little bit more say here than the government does. Same with Australia, same with Ireland. So it's gonna take some time in the States, but these other actions happening within NATO are gonna be really big for you guys to, yeah, VA will acknowledge that, but we don't need VA to acknowledge that, the guys that are suffering. We can just accept that that's what we have and move on. But I gotta get going here, guys. Keep in touch, and if you're experiencing this stuff, if anything that I'm sharing to you relates and rings true, then you need to get a hold of Howie Saxon Henry and move forward from there, because mefloquine is a very toxic drug, and it causes some pretty serious brain damage. So it's likely, if you were exposed to it, that you do suffer from it. There's no more reason to suffer in silence. Like, PTSD just does not explain this. Keep your stick on the ice, guys. Watch and shoot, and fucking get involved with the lawsuit, man. It's the only way we're gonna make change and make things better for those of us that fought in Afghanistan.